Hi, I'm Ray Butts with Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and this is our 1190 Adventure R bike build. So today I'm going to talk about my 2015 KTM 1190 Adventure R. Now as you can see, I'm kind of a small guy, so some of my improvements have been based upon my size and not necessarily for every guy out there. But you know what? Everything I've done to this has had a purpose, so let's get into it. First of all, why would I choose the 1190 R to set up and ride? This pretty much, in my opinion, is like the ultimate adventure touring bike. KTM has done a great job with getting big bikes onto the market that can still off-road, quite well. This one, when you buy it, it's pretty much ready to go. I mean, it's got a couple, spots that we really need to look at. Probably most critical is a bash plate. It's got a small plastic one that's stock. It's not going to do a whole lot of good if you really hit the rocks hard. So the first thing I set up was an alt-rider bash plate for this. There's a lot of brands out there, but this is the one that I like. I felt like it bolted up well, it's high quality, and it's held up well to all the trail riding I've done. Probably the next thing I did was to pay attention to setting it up for a tall rider. As a tall rider, the stock seat, handlebars, and foot pegs needed to be adjusted. So the seat, I went to Seat Concepts, and they make a tall seat foam. The stock seat kind of steps down and it pulls you into a pocket. Well, I'm so tall it pulls me forward and it hurts my knees and everything. This has more of a flat platform to where I can sit up on the seat, slide back, slide forward, move around, and it's a lot more comfortable for me as a tall rider. Now the Fastway Adventure pegs that I have, these are great. They give you a wider platform. You can move your feet around a bit when you're out touring. They have great grip. They're super strong. And they have the ability to adjust to a lower position so that as a taller rider, it opens up the cockpit a little bit for me. The third thing I did is KTM Hard Parts has a bar riser that I added that allows me now to stand up and ride through the rough terrain that I like to ride. It allows me to do it more effectively. I can stand up, it doesn't hurt my back or legs quite as bad as being hunched over with the stock bar. So that was kind of the reason why I set this up and how I set it up for me as a taller rider. Other things that I've done for comfort on this machine, I installed Tusk grip heaters on this so that when it starts getting chilly, I can kick those babies on, my mitts stay nice and warm, and my comfort and focus is on the trail rather than on my freezing hands. Now I like to camp off of my bike, so how I set that up, I got with my friends at Wolfman and Tusk. I have the Tusk pannier racks. A couple things I like about this is it comes with a strong mount system with a quick release that allows me to pull my panniers on and off easily. They're also super durable, super tough. I personally tested the prototypes and did everything I could to destroy them, and they've held up to some very tough conditions out there. When I'm riding primarily road, I'll run the hard bags. Now, if we're going on an off-road ride that's primarily dirt or rough trails, I do have a set of Wolfman luggage that I put on here just to help protect my legs if my legs get pulled back. I know that's a concern to a lot of people. The beauty of these racks is you can mount the panniers as well as the Wolfman soft bags. Now, one nice thing about the Tusk pannier system that I really like, when we put this all together to make it look balanced, we had a little room back here. So we added a bar that goes in there that you can add an accessory mount for a roto pack system. Roto packs is a nice little auxiliary fuel tank that you can add to your bike that you can either mount them on the back of your panniers or wherever, but this one had enough room that it tucks in nice, it's out of the way, and it gives you the little warm fuzzy that you got a little extra range in case you run out of gas. The next thing I added was a tail bag and a tank bag. Now the tail bag from Wolfman, this bag's awesome. It can expand, or I can suck it down as tight as I want. This holds all my sleeping bag, tent, camping gear, anything that I want that I can't fit into my panniers, it works great for that. Now, as an adventure rider, you want to keep your weight as far low and forward as you can. So I try not to overload my tail bag, so this helps me, helps my bike work better in off-road conditions. The next thing I want to talk about is the Baja Designs LED auxiliary lights. A lot of times you find yourself out on the trail and it's, the sun's gone down and you're out in the middle of the Tule somewhere, and it's tough to see where you're riding. You can't always see all the rocks and obstacles in the path. So, the stock headlight's okay, but it's nice to have a little extra, light on the subject. So the Baja Designs, they're tough. They're built quite well. They cast a good amount of light. One side is flood, one side is spot, so it gives you different lights that kind of shine out on the trail. And it definitely makes it much more enjoyable to ride once the sun goes down. One thing as I ride this, probably 80% of the people that buy one of these bikes are going to spend most of their time on the road. I personally, love dirt, and the tougher the dirt and the rougher the trails, the happier I am. So far this thing has been amazing. It's blown me away with the things that I've been able to do. ATV trail, single track, you name it. So far, it's done everything and more that I've asked for. I'm sure you're wondering about the front fender on this. As you can see, it is a high front fender. You can see that I don't have the low stock fender on anymore. Out here in Utah, yeah, we're in the desert. We ride the desert a lot. And you're thinking, what do you need a high fender in the desert for? Well, every once in a while, this wet stuff falls out of the sky, and Utah is almost all clay. So clay builds up, will lock up your front wheel, cause you to wreck, or it can even break your front fender, and then it can cause other problems. So to preempt that, I added the high front fender kit. I got a fender from a Cherubies and added it to the front of my bike, and then fork guards I had to modify a bit to get them to work, but now I'm able to get out in any kind of mud or whatever. Not that that's super enjoyable to ride in, but now at least it won't lock up my front wheel or cause my front fender to break. The next thing I added was the kickstand foot pad extender. It's from Alt-Rider. When you're out in the dirt and everything, if you're on asphalt, no big deal, the stock one's fine, but a lot of times I'm out in dirt, sand, different areas, and if you go to put the stock kickstand down, it's going to punch right through the sand, your bike's going to fall over, then you're picking up a whole lot of biking equipment. So the folks at Alt-Rider have built a real nice kit. It bolts right onto the bottom of your kickstand, and it keeps it afloat in loose terrain. Also, when these first came out in 2013, they had a problem with the air filter deflecting and allowing dirt to bypass the air filter. This is a 2015 model. They redesigned the air box to better lock in the air filter to where it doesn't deflect and allow particles past it. But just to be cautious, I have the KTM pre-filters on the front of the intake nozzles, and that kind of helps at least keep some of the gunk out of the intake system so that the filter doesn't have to do as much work. So that's kind of the long and short of it. If you're into adventure riding and you like to go off-road and you're a big and tall guy, you can kind of see why I've done the things that I've done to this bike. Like I said before, this is a great bike straight out of the gate. Just with a few fine tweaks, you can customize it to make it yours. All of these parts and accessories you can find on our website. Just click on the link below. Please subscribe to our channel, and hey, we'll see you on the trails.